Hi everyone, I'm Pedro, and today we're going to be looking at the IELTS reading section, and in particular we're going to focus on how to answer true, false, not given questions and yes, no, not given questions. Although these questions seem very similar, they are actually testing different things. True, false, and not given questions will test your ability to locate information in the text, whereas yes, no, and not given questions will assess your ability to understand the writer's opinions and claims. With true, false, not given questions, you'll be given a number of statements and a question that looks like this. The yes, no, not given questions are quite similar. You'll also be given some statements and questions that look like this. So let's go through some rules for when you're faced with these types of questions. The statements will be in the same order as the information in the text. And although they may not be written in the same way, they do contain the same information. In a true, false, not given question, if the statement reports the meaning of the passage exactly or not, write true or false. And likewise, in a yes, no, not given question, if the statements report the writer's views and claims exactly or not, write yes or no. This is important to remember, as if you write true when you answer a yes, no, not given question, your answer will be marked wrong and vice versa. True or false and yes or no questions are relatively straightforward, as your answers are in the text and you just need to say whether the statements say exactly the same thing as the text or if they say the opposite. The important thing to remember here is that all the information in the statements will be in the text. What is more challenging is trying to work out the not given answers, as you'll be looking for information in the statements that are not in the text. So to identify a not given answer, there are a couple of things you need to keep in mind. If any of the information in the statement is missing from the text, then it's likely to be a not given answer. In addition, you can't use your real-life experience to answer these questions. Even if you know something to be true because of what you know in the real world, if it's not in the text, then the answer will be not given. So let's take a look at an example text and questions. Looking at the statements, there are two different types of keywords that will help you. There'll be some words that will direct you to the right place in the text, and some words will help you decide what the answer will be. These are likely to be words that change the meaning of the statement or perhaps express possibility or doubt. Looking at the first statement, we can decide that husband and Nobel Prizes are key words. And as the statements are in the same order as they would appear in the text, we should be able to find them in the first paragraph. As the whole text is about Marie Curie, her name isn't a key word, as it appears everywhere. Now, in terms of key words that will help you choose the correct answer, you should highlight words such as joint winner and both, and think of what changes could be made to the sentences with these words. Joint winner implies that they won the award together, and both tells us that the two awards Curie won were together with her husband. But what if Curie's husband won awards without his wife? And what if they only won one award together rather than both? Now go to the text. We can see Nobel Prize here. And if we read further, we can see that she was a sole winner in 1911, meaning one of her awards was won without her husband. This means that the answer to question 1 is false. For question 2, science and child could be good keywords to help you find a location, while interested and was would be keywords in terms of being able to change the statement. It might be that Curie didn't become interested as a child. Looking at the text, you should see childhood in paragraph 2, so we can start reading here for the answer. However, as we read, we can see that there is no mention of her being interested in science. She won a gold medal when she completed secondary school, but it does not say what it was for. It might have been for science, but as it wasn't mentioned, you can say that this statement is not given. For the final question, Sorbonne and financial could help you locate the correct part of the text that has the answer. Was able to and sisters could help with the actual answer. Maybe Curie wasn't able to attend Sorbonne, or perhaps it was someone other than her sister who had helped financially. Looking in the text, we can quickly see Sorbonne at the beginning of the third paragraph. Now, can we see any mention of money or her sister? The first sentence mentions a fulfilled promise, so I'm going to read the end of the previous paragraph to find out what it is. We can now see the words earnings and finance. And we can also read that Curie helped her sister's medical studies. Reading on, we can see that Curie's sister promised to return this favor. With this in mind, we can conclude that the answer is true. Now, if you're still not sure of the answer, or you're running out of time, just guess. You never know. Your guess might be the right answer. However, if you don't answer the question at all, you can guarantee to get 0 marks. And that's all for this video. I hope these tips have been useful. Good luck with your IELTS studies, and I'll see you in the next one.